What is good, YouTube? Chris's Kicks here, back with another sneaker review, and today we have the Off-White and Nike Air Jordan 1 from Virgil Abloh's The 10 collection. So for those of you that don't know, Virgil Abloh, I think that's how you say his name, and Off-White collaborated with Nike on a series of 10 different silhouettes, so that's 10 different models. They all released this weekend, well not this weekend, they released yesterday, which was Thursday. Well, that was my collection date anyway. All of the pairs released via raffle. No stores did an online release, no stores did a store release. It was all via a raffle system, where you'd sign up online with like an email address, size, name, credit card details, etc. So all pairs went via raffle release from all retailers. I won my raffle from Sneakers and Stuff. Just show you the confirmation email that I got there. So from Sneakers and Stuff, congratulations, and it has the image of an Air Jordan 1 floating by. Unusual actually, because Sneakers and Stuff is usually one of my worst sites. I can never check out on Sneakers and Stuff. I always manage to add to cart and then it just won't do anything after I've added to cart. So I've never actually purchased from Sneakers and Stuff online before, so I was quite surprised. But yeah, we'll get back into the 10 collection. So like I said, he collaborated with them on 10 different silhouettes. Obviously I didn't win all 10 pairs, and to be honest with you, I didn't want all 10 pairs, and I'll show you them here on the image on my tablet screen. Let's see if I can balance that, get the light reflection. So there you can see 10 different sneaker models from left to right and top to bottom. You have the Converse Chuck Taylor. For those who don't know, Converse is owned by Nike. You have the Air Jordan 1, and obviously again Jordan brand is owned by Nike. The Hyper Dunk, the Air Presto, the Air Max 97, the Air Force 1 Low, the Vapor Max, the Zoom Fly, the Air Max 90, and the Blazer. So 10 different silhouettes. To be honest with you, I think this is one of the most overrated and overhyped releases of the year so far, just because it has Off-White's name attached to it. Out of those 10 sneakers, I was only interested in 3. I don't know about you, but for me, I was only interested in the Air Jordan 1, the Air Presto, and the Air Vapor Max. And to be honest with you, I think the Presto was my favourite. Then the Vapor Max, and then the Air Jordan 1. So they were my top 3, and the only 3 I was interested in. Like, to be honest with you, who wants the Converse or who wants the Blazer? Like, or the Zoom Fly or the Hyper Dunk. They're like the deadest ones out of the whole collection. But yeah, it's a toss-up between the Presto and the Vapor Max. They were my top 2. They were the ones I really wanted. And like I said, I only was interested in those 3 models, so I only entered raffles for those 3 models, and I was lucky enough to get the Air Jordan 1s. So yeah, for me, it was one of the most overhyped, rated collections, because out of 10 sneakers, 7 of them I think are trash. So that's 70% of the collection that I wasn't feeling. But yeah, we'll get back into the box. So this whole theme of the box and the sneakers was deconstructed or reversed or inside out. So all of the box is completely flipped inside out, and all the materials that I'll show you on the sneakers are all inside out as well. So all the internal materials. So first off, we'll see the box. It is that brown box material which we'd normally find on the inside of the box. So on the side there, you do have that Off-White branding. Off-White Co. shoebox in quotations, and then Nike's address. Nothing on this side, nothing on the back, and then in a very light gloss on the top of the box in quotations you have the word Jumpman. And you can see that. I'll show you the inside of the box. So like I said, the box is completely flipped inside out. So normally these would have come in a black Nike box. Unusual for Jordan 1s, because Jordan 1s don't normally come in a black and gold Nike Jordan box. So yeah, they have gone with that, but they didn't go for the Jordan 1 box. But yeah, you have a black Jordan box with the gold Jumpman, completely reversed. Paper, you get 2 sets of paper. So the first set is this dual Nike and Off-White brand paper, and then the second set of paper is just your standard white tissue shoebox paper. Alright, so the first thing you're going to notice is, yeah, the orange and green laces. So we'll get into the subject of laces first off. These sneakers came with 4 sets of laces. They originally came laced up with the black shoelaces, and as you can see on every pair of the laces, towards the end of the lace, in quotations, is the word shoelaces. And that is on every pair of laces. It's on the white ones, it's on the green ones, it's on the orange ones. It's on every pair of laces. They originally came laced up with the black ones because obviously these are a Chicago Air Jordan 1, sort of the white, red and black Jordan 1, which is an Air Chicago. If you Google Jordan 1 Chicago, you'll see what this sneaker is. But this is the deconstructed one. And with all the off-white sneakers, they all came with these orange and green laces. So they were like the main standout to make them the off-white ones. And I thought, if I leave them with the black ones from afar, like from a very far distance, when someone sees them, all they're going to think is I've got a pair of Chicago Air Jordan 1s on. But with these orange and green laces, you can definitely tell that they were the off-white ones. And something else that I saw somebody do on Instagram is to use both the orange and green together. Like, I've seen people wear one foot's orange and one foot's green, but I saw somebody post a pic with the orange and green both in the sneaker at the same time. So you get that kind of look. And for me, I like that one the best. It was a nightmare to lace up the laces with 2 laces going through each eyelet and keeping them like not from getting twisted and looking a complete mess. But oh, it took me ages. But yeah, that's the laces. One thing you're probably going to notice is missing, which I've taken off, don't worry, I do have it, is the zip tie. So all of the sneakers came with this big red clunky zip tie, which is on all of Off-White's retail releases. This is what they use as their label. I don't know if you're getting any reflection from the sunlight. It's a nice bright day today. But on the zip tie, you do have Off-White Co and Nike 2017 zip tie. So this came attached to the sneaker. It just came threaded through the laces like that. So it wasn't anywhere that you'd have to cut it off. So I have actually seen people on Instagram leaving this on and just wearing them with this big zip tie kicking around. I guess for your Instagram flexing post, it looks pretty cool, but yeah, it's not really practical for me, so I'll taking it off. I'll keep it, but yeah, it's definitely not staying on the sneaker. Alright, we'll get into the sneakers. Like I said, the theme was I think deconstructed or inside out. So all the materials are the materials either in their rawest state or the materials that you'd find inside or unfinished, or inside materials or unfinished cuts of material. So if you can see from, we'll start at the toe box. This mesh that the toe box is used, normally you'd have a leather toe box perforated on the Jordan 1, whereas now you have this mesh material that if you sort of where your socks or your toes would touch, that's the sort of meshy cotton material that you'd find inside the sneaker. If you stuck your hand inside and put your hand on the toe box, that's the material that you'd find on the inside. Coming around to the leather, you can see that the very raw cut of the stitching and the very raw edge of the material used, so it's supposed to have that unfinished or raw cut look. To the side panels, again, the similar mesh that's used on the toe box is the underlay mesh for this white panel here. It's got like a stitching panel running through the back of it, and it's a very weird material mesh. You definitely wouldn't expect to find it on the outside of a sneaker. The Nike swoosh is not completely stitched on. Again, it's supposed to be unfinished, so it's only attached through this blue stitching here and this blue stitching on the panel here. Like, it's not connected at all in any other way. That does kind of worry me a little bit, that it would get caught on something and rip or tear or like pull off. So I have to be a little bit cautious about what I rest my foot up against, or if I snag it on any corner. But yeah, that's another part of the sneaker. You do have an additional flap on these eyelets here. Normally this is just one panel, where he's put on an extra leather panel here. The outside material here is again the internal sort of suede-ish rough material that you'd find underneath the internal padding of the sneaker. The sort of wings side panels that come up on this version, they've not been attached. So normally on a Jordan 1 this would just be stitched down. You can see the stitching holes where they've left them, where obviously this person who would stitch up this sneaker when it was going to be produced would then stitch it down, but they've given it that raw unfinished look. So they've only got the holes where the stitching should go. I think that was completely off camera that whole time I was talking. I'm not rewinding it to check. Yeah, it's not attached, so you just have this sort of cut off bit, makes it appear that it's not been finished. And then on the inside of all sides of these wings, you do have an 85 in quotations, which is the year the Air Jordan 1 released, 1985. Coming around to the rear of the sneaker, that sort of roughed, unfinished suede then goes into a smoother leather. You do have this very hard heel cup. Again, this is the material that you'd find inside the sneaker, behind the sort of padding. You know, if you've ever worn sneakers for so long that the heel on the inside wears away, then you're left with that hard material. That's what they put on the heel cup. Moving around to the inside, where you would normally have your Nike swoosh on this side, again they've just left these stitching perforation holes where the stitching would go if the swoosh would be there. And you have some more of that off-white branding, off-white for Nike, Air Jordan 1 in quotations, and then Nike's address, and more of this unfinished stitching look. The midsole is actually an off-white colour. I don't know if it's hard to tell on the camera, but it is a very faint off-white. It's not a brilliant white. And as you can see there, you have the word Air in quotations. Virgil was signing people's pairs. He wasn't at the, obviously, Sneakers and Stuff release raffle, but there have been a lot of releases that he's attended, and he will then write something else on the side of the midsole as well. So like for me, it would be maybe Air Chris or something like that. Coming around to this back panel, again, it's supposed to be raw and unfinished. So as you can see, all this is like left uncut. It looks in a very raw state. Even this paneling here has come through. Again, you can see that the sponge of the padding is there. So it's supposed to be all completely raw and unfinished. The tongue, you've removed the Nike Air from the centered part and left it, put it onto the side of the tongue. And he's actually, I don't know if it's intentional, but you can see a bit of the bleeding from the red stitching that was on there already. These have not even been worn. That's how they came. You have again a raw, unfinished tongue with that sort of basic material. Again, like I said, you can see all of this is just raw, uncut material, so it's definitely supposed to have that unfinished look. Last thing is the insoles. I don't know if I can take one out, if they're stuck down or not. Are they stuck? No. Alright, we can get one out. Insole is completely white with the off-white branding logo and the 10 written there, and I don't know if you can see it. It does have these raised sort of triangle spiky sections just in the toe area. I don't know if it will pick up because it's completely white, but there is these bumps just in this area here. Actually, I would say that these Air Jordans, I don't know if it's they've put a thicker insole inside it, but they're not that bad. Like normally Jordan 1s are the most uncomfortable sneakers ever. Like they're so uncomfortable. I don't even know how they've got air in there, because you don't feel any air. I would love to see someone do cut an Air Jordan in half, actually see if there is any air in it, because they're the most uncomfortable sneakers ever. But these ones, I don't know if it's that insole, they're not bad. They're a little bit more softer than previous Air Jordans. But anyway, that's going to wrap up the review. Like I said, these were a very, very limited release. Retail was $160. I've seen these on StockX for around $1,800. So that's around £1,300. So the resale price at the moment is currently $1,000 to $1,300, which is extremely high. But then again, these were a very limited release, only available via raffles. My thoughts on them, like I said, very overhyped. Materials is nothing spectacular. It's your generic sort of Jordan brand leather. Nothing special. They've used far better leather on previous releases like the shattered backboard ones. The concept is very nice. The deconstructed and inside out feel, and obviously the orange and green laces give it that weird, unusual look. Outsole, as I forgot, sorry, is a darker Jordan 1 classic outsole. And I think that's pretty much all of the review. I'll give you one kind of 360 of the sneakers. Both pairs are exactly the same, identical. Like I said, 85 behind the tabs on all of them. Off-white branding on the medial side of both pairs that was on the side of the box. Give you the 360 one last one before I sign out. Alright, there we go. So if you want to see some more sneaker reviews, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm kind of trying to wrap up now because I feel like I'm rambling on a bit for too long. We're currently at nearly 15 minutes. So yeah, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to see some more sneaker reviews. If you want to follow me on social media, Twitter and Instagram, it is Chris_S_Ramos, but there will be clickable links in the video description if you're too lazy to type that in. Subscribe to my channel, like, comment on the video if you would. I really appreciate it. Reply to all the comments. Let me know if you managed to pick up a pair of any of the Off-White releases. Did you get the pair that you wanted? I know quite a few people entered raffles for every silhouette, and a lot of people got lucky on the raffles, but not for the pair they wanted. Like I said, for me it was the Vapor Max, the Presto and the Air Jordan 1s. Probably Prestos are my favourite, or the Vapor Maxes. What pair did you get? What pair did you want? What do you think about the collaboration? Alright, hit me up in the comments. I hope you enjoyed the review. That's the end. I'm tired of talking. Peace.